Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name's Ethan Bernard, and in today's video, we finally have some new information on Project A, the new tactical FPS from Riot Games. Now, for those of you who don't know, I made a few videos on this game last year, covering it, telling you guys how excited I was for it, and I actually broke down what the devs have already shown us. But today, for the first time since the initial announcement in October, we finally have some new info, and I have it all right here for you. Now, before we get into this, folks, if you guys end up enjoying the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It's free, it helps me out a lot, and I'm planning on covering Project A full-time, so I would love for you guys to go on that journey with me. That being said, Riot invited a bunch of influencers out to their studios last month, a bunch of creators and YouTubers and stuff, to test out and play the game, get their initial thoughts on it, and today, one of a few embargoes lifted on them which allowed them to share their initial impressions of the game without revealing the detail and contents of the game itself. That being said, I've spent this entire day rounding up every little bit of info I possibly could to get it all here in one place for you guys, and it was pretty difficult because a lot of it was in languages that I don't even speak. Project A is confirmed to be a free-to-play title that will have an in-game market that sells skins and cosmetics as Riot's way of monetizing the game. This is something that we assumed the entire time, especially with CS going free-to-play back in 2018. That kind of put the nail in the coffin for any idea of this being a paid title, but it's nice to have it out there and official. We also know that on March 2nd, we will be getting a new trailer and Project A will finally be receiving its name. This could be the final Project A video I create, people, because starting March 2nd, that will no longer be the name of the game, and there's also another embargo being lifted off of the creators that went to play the game last month, so you should see some more details from them along with possibly some brand new gameplay, which would be pretty cool. With all that out of the way, let's go into detail on what creators found. I don't have all the names of the creators listed here because I went through so many different Twitter threads, videos, and translations, but I do have what I believe is all the information right here for you, so let's hop right into it. It's been confirmed that Project A is going to be a 5v5 tactical shooter that feels very similar to CSGO in terms of the gameplay and the game modes. However, you might find that this game actually runs smoother than CSGO, because instead of the base 60 tick rate that Valve servers run at, Riot has decided to run the servers for Project A at a 120 tick rate. Tick rate is essentially how many times per second the server refreshes, so instead of 60 times per second, the servers are going to be refreshing 120 times per second, which should make movement, shooting, abilities, and everything feel that much smoother. Smooth servers aside, let's talk about the hero shooter part of Project A. Some people describe the hero elements of it as diluted versions of elements that we're already used to from games like Apex Legends or Overwatch. The game mode itself that people played was a 5v5 search and destroy mode, much like what you see in CSGO's competitive playlist, that was an MR12 game mode, meaning 12 rounds on each side and first to 13 wins. So CSGO would be considered MR15 because in competitive the first team to 16 round wins takes the cake. Now they also confirmed that at halftime, once the 12 rounds is over, it will swap from attacking to defending sides and vice versa. Another interesting mechanic we found out is that bomb defusal progress cannot be reset if you stop defusing the bomb to protect yourself. So if you're defusing and you stop to protect yourself, you or a friend can pick up right where you left off and you will not have to restart at the 0-second timer. That being said, some of the bomb sites on these maps are not only in pairs of 2, folks. That's right, some of the maps have 3 bomb sites instead of 2, and the map layout and design is apparently very similar to CSGO in terms of lanes, some of the angles and choke points you hold, and the game's map design prioritizes the game's substance over all of the quote-unquote flowery aesthetics that other games go for. Speaking of the game's substance, we do have some new information on the weapons, abilities, and the in-game economy to go over. The players said that classes and abilities in Project A are treated primarily as utility as opposed to super offensive kill-everything abilities that other hero shooters have led us to know. Movement abilities are also apparently going to be very relevant in Project A, as one player described that there's nothing more satisfying than dropping a quote-unquote successful combo of movement mechanics and abilities to force your opponent's hand. Abilities in Project A will also have to be purchased from the same pool of currency that you purchase weapons from, meaning the economy is more in-depth than just the weapons you buy. It'll also affect the abilities you are able to use each round. So instead of cooldowns on the abilities, people will be able to buy uses for the abilities or charges or what have you. Then once you use an ability once, it will be on a cooldown because they confirm that you will not be able to spam the abilities even if you purchase them multiple times. Now, players also mentioned kind of save rounds where you buy lighter firepower in an attempt to gamble your way and maybe save for the next buy round. A lot of these strats are already used in CSGO, and it's something that new players that haven't played CS4 will probably catch on to very quickly. Essentially, abilities are treated like CSGO treats utility or grenades. They can only be purchased during the buy period at the beginning of the round, and each purchase you make can only be used once. Let's talk about the weapons for a little bit. A lot of the weapons that were described by the players were described as generic weaponry, which honestly isn't too bad of a thing for a game like this, but they were also described as well-balanced hit scan weapons that each had their own unique spray patterns, which means yes, there will be spray patterns like CSGO, there's not going to be a bunch of random bullshit, and once people start to learn those, we're going to see some very good plays. Now, they also said that a lot of the rifles do one shot to the head, making headshots in this game more important than anywhere else, regardless of the character you're using, because I believe all of the weapons are available to all the different heroes. There is nothing exclusive like that. Now that we've covered the weapons, the economy, yada yada, let's talk about the feel of the game, okay? I have a few key remarks here that I grabbed from some of the players' rundowns that I thought were super interesting. The game actually reminded several of the people I saw today. They said they reminded them of the first time they played CS. It reminded them back when they tried it and it felt good. It was like that new, smooth, competitive shooter, and that gave them that same gut feeling. Also, you can play the game and have a good time without having to worry too much about the abilities, but hey, if you're playing the game, why not use them, right? Like, obviously, you can buy a gun, go around and do well, but the abilities will only add to that experience. One player referred to the game as CSGO, but if CSGO had greater tactical depth and modern animation. This particular got me really excited for the game, because CSGO, as great as it is and as consistent as it is, has always felt super aged to me. Like, I get it. It's a consistent shooter, it's fun to play, it's satisfying, but it's old, it's aged, there's nothing modern about it, and I'm very excited for Project A to combine those two elements together. Henry G, who is a CSGO commentator and a former pro player, went on to say at the end of his Twitter thread that Project A is the best game he has played since CSGO. If that doesn't tell you that Project A's got potential, I don't know what does. It sounds like to me, with all of the new info we have and all of the impressions we've heard, that at least in my case, Project A is turning out to be almost exactly what I wanted it to be. A newer, modern version of CSGO with a little bit more depth, a little bit more of a variety in gameplay than just this plain old CS stuff over and over again. Even Slasher himself said that if Riot does everything right, Project A could be the biggest FPS in the world by 2021. That statement right there speaks for itself, folks. Let me know what you guys think of all the new news we have on Project A. What are you excited for? If you have any information I missed, make sure to put it down in the comments below. I searched through every little thread and stuff I could. I didn't really have a way to translate any of the videos that creators made for first impressions, but I did what I could to find the translations and get every little bit of detail I could out of it. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, leave a comment down below. All that stuff is free and it helps me out a lot. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.
Hey naysayers, how y'all been? It's been a minute, but I'm in it to win, and I ain't finished. This is the starting gun, and I'ma run it to the front until I'm #1, son. This is a rhythmic defibrillation, innovative old school to thrill the nation. I've been patiently waiting and building steam, but I'm back with the bounce like a trampoline.